Feisal Istrabadi joins us now from Bloomington, Indiana. He's a former Iraqi diplomat. He's now professor in global strategic and Central Eurasian Studies at Indiana University. Feisal, welcome back. And I say welcome back. For you, it'll be a bit of deja vu. You and I spoke almost at exactly the same time 24 hours ago. And your analysis was fascinating. So I want you to revisit just a little element of that. You were telling us on Sunday how what's happening in Iraq now, the divisions that exist along sect and ethnicity, are also very much a part of Saddam Hussein's legacy. Talk to us about that again.
Yes, well, it's I should say, a pleasure to be back with you again. Yes, for the 35 years of Ba'ath rule from 1968 until 2003, and about 24 years of Saddam Hussein's rule from 79 on, this was part of the strategy. It was divide and conquer. It is not strictly true to say that it was a Sunni dispensation. A lot of American analysts say that simply because Saddam happened to come from a Sunni background, but that's not actually fair. What mattered to Saddam was loyalty. And if you were his sons-in-law and were disloyal, you would be butchered. If you were loyal, you were fine. One of the ways the previous regime kept itself in power was to exacerbate tensions between communities. That was very much reflected in the opposition as well, with a rise of Shia and Sunni religious parties and an alienation of the Kurdish parties in Iraq. Unfortunately, that has resonance into today because those parties never shifted from being parties in opposition to Saddam to parties that are actually governing Iraq. And so their outlook still is a sectarian or a ethno-confessional one, a nationalist one based on ethnicity, rather than a pan-Iraqi identity, and rather than trying to govern as Iraqi governing parties. So this is the legacy. Some of the difficulties we've been having, that we have had in Iraq since 2003, is very much a part of that legacy.
Okay, so to give you a very simplistic question from my point of view, and the nuance will come from your expertise, is it now, 18 years after Saddam Hussein's removal, the fault of the people and the voters that they can't see past sect and ethnicity, or is it the fault more of the politicians because they haven't been listening to the demands of the majority but trying to satisfy their own particular voter base?
Actually, that's a very sophisticated question and a very difficult one to answer. On the one hand, I do say at times that the political class we have is the one that the voter keeps electing time after time after time. On the other hand, the political class has has done what leaders do. It has led people in a particular direction. It has led them towards greater sectarianism, and ethno-confessional divides, even though in my view, the normal state of Iraq, as it was for most of its history since the end of the First World War, has been fairly secular and in any event a highly integrated polity that had very few problems, at least that erupted into violence ever, amongst its various populations. It's a chicken and egg argument. The political class has never given the people of Iraq the choice to transcend these ethno-confessional divides. And so when the voter goes into the voting place, these are the parties that he has before him. And the parties seem to protect their power base by playing on these divides, unfortunately. I do believe a majority of the Iraqis are fed up with this kind of politics. And if the initial reports of low voter turnout to be correct, I think that is the reason why voters are fundamentally, I think, turning their backs on the political process in Iraq.
We've got 1 minute left, Faisal, and people complain, have been doing so for years, about endemic corruption. How rich are Iraq's top politicians?
They have become, I mean, many of them have become billionaires, having spent their exile in penury. I mean, there are reports of 300, 400, 500 billion missing from Iraq's budgets, from Iraq's coffers. It's an astounding number for a country the size of Iraq.
Faisal, you know what? You make me want to be a student again. Thank you so much indeed. That's 2 days in which you have educated me and hopefully our viewers. Take care. Feisal Istrabadi in Indiana.